All right, so let's talk about the energy themes for February 2025. Time is passing by very quickly. And the themes that I sharing here with you, just so you know, they are not predictions. They're just insights, downloads that I receive from my higher self, from my guides, the Pleiadians, for the collective. So things that we can just bear in mind or make a commitment to pay more attention to it or set an intention. So as I share these themes, you can also just check in with your intuition, with your heart, what resonates with you. Okay, and that's also a great way to set intentions as well for the practice that we're going to do after this. So the first theme that I got, and that was related, or I want to say triggered by what happened in January with the LA fires. And obviously we know that there are other parts of the world as well that things are happening. Perhaps we don't even know, we're not even aware of the things that are happening. But um the feeling that I got from what happened is that from tragedies, from destruction, there's unity rising. Like people are becoming more united, more one. You know, that unity consciousness that we envision and that we feel in our hearts, that's actually what's coming out of things like that. And yes, of course, it's a tragedy. Of course, it's sad. But, you know, there is good that's coming out of it because we have to remember that we have the power. And what I got as well is that the elite's agenda is backfiring. And I'm not the type of guide that talks a lot about the global elite or the dark agenda or whatever you want to call it, a cabal. Um, and it's just not because I have anything against it. It's just that I'm not really the guide to, if you want to find that kind of information, there are other people or other guides that are talking more about the dark agenda, the global elite, the whatever you call it. They do remote viewing and predictions and all of that. And that's not to say that, you know, that's not going to change in a few months or years' time, but I don't focus so much on this. Maybe it's a bias within me. Maybe that's why I'm not getting the information, but that's something that I got. That basically the feeling that I got was that they're sort of desperate, trying to continue their work to inject fear and to take over, to continue to have the power um, over humanity and to continue to keep us in the matrix, in the 3D matrix, which is old. And I think they know it, so they're kind of like desperate, trying everything. But the feeling I'm getting is that it whatever they're trying to do, it's kind of not working. And because we are ascending, we are expanding our consciousness. And so whatever they're trying, it's backfiring because then that's bringing us closer. That's helping us to expand our consciousness. And even people that might not necessarily be awake now, they might go through the so-called dark night of the soul and then awake and that's what we want, right? That's the unity consciousness that we're aiming for, that we're hoping for, that we're co-creating. I also have seen some people also talking about war, whether it's the World War III or a spiritual war of some sort. And whenever I hear these comments or this even guidance in a way. I just kind of go back in words and I have to ask myself, where is the war? Is it a war for me in my world? And so I think that's also something that you can ask yourself. That's not to bypass the duality, or that's not to like turn a blind eye to the people, the beings even that are service to self, but it's just to kind of refocus. Where is your focus? Are you focusing on the duality and the darkness and the war, or are you focusing inward and checking in with you in your heart, in your body, in your consciousness? Is there a war? And that's where I think we should focus on, because the external world will be a reflection of your internal world. The other thing that I felt as well from this is that obviously now, like literally, especially in the LA area, there's time for it's the time for reorganize and restructure. But I think that's also a message for all of us that we're reorganizing from chaos and clearing a lot of debris. And this is like, for me, an ancestral thing, like very ancestral. I'm talking Lemurian, Atlantean times. And just personally, this past month, when I heard the news of what was happening, I was very, very sad, obviously, because it's a sad thing. But the feeling that I got was like I was sad on like a deep soul level. Like my soul has experienced something like that that was much bigger. And that was the Lemurian aspect of my soul. If you have Lemurian connections, you probably have felt similar, because I feel like this is very much connected to that era. Um, California, a lot of the west of the Americas are very connected to the Lemurian times. But also one message that I got when I was feeling this, like I couldn't even watch the news or see any pictures, because it was just so triggering for me. I was really, really sad. But the message that I got, it was that this is a glimpse of what happened, because it was way worse. Like we're talking a whole continent being flooded, right? Destruction, complete destruction, so that Earth could continue in her path. It was kind of a reset button, but it's kind of a good thing if you think about it, because if this is a glimpse, just a glimpse of what happened, then that means that what happened is not going to happen now. So this is just a glimpse of that. And it's also a way of clearing the emotional, energetic debris and reorganizing from a different place. So this is actually a good sign that Earth is restructuring herself, and the ascension timeline is a certainty, is very, very high in probabilities. It's going to happen. It is already happening. Okay. So the prompt that I offer for this theme is just for all of us to keep holding the vision of the new earth and keep holding the 5D frequency within you, because we are the 5D new earth. And this was a message. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before yesterday on the Instagram, on the Bladen channel. That was just a reminder for us to continue to hold the vision and nurture that frequency within us, because there's a lot of power in all of us. If all of us are holding this vision, we're keeping the frequency alive within us in our hearts, that really raises the frequency of the earth. Okay. And then that elite's agenda will backfire. Okay. We got the power. And I think this is a really important message. Humans got the power. Then obviously there is more need for integration. And I feel this like this past week was a week for integration, at least for me. The week before, when we had the planetary alignment, energies felt really, really high. I had so much energy. I was feeling strong. I was like running every day. I had so much energy. And then Monday comes, last Monday, and starts to come down. Even the weather changed here. Um, but then, yeah, I felt like this is a little bit of time downtime or low frequency, but in the sense of let's just take it slow a little bit. We need to integrate. And that's just the process of ascending, of healing. We need to take time for integration. And I think for all of us, there's more and more awareness around how integration works for you, because that can be very personal. And so there's this calling for us to expand our integration toolkit however you feel. So it can be grounding, it can be contact walk in nature, meditation, sleeping, taking a nap, resting, doing some art, walking, exercising, journaling. So there are different ways that we can use to integrate. And I think integrating also means just taking your mind out of whatever is happening in the external world or whatever you're doing, even if it's related to your healing journey. And also finding ways within yourself that are guiding you into more integration. Like, for example, for me, my body tells me like we need to rest. And sometimes I don't listen to my body. But it's important that we have that awareness. Like if your body is asking for rest, go take a nap. Or if your mind is too busy and you're thinking, overthinking, just meditate. Go watch something silly, laugh a little bit. I think another thing for me too that kind of tells me like I need to integrate is my voice, the frequency, the tone. Like for example, right now I can feel that my voice is not at its best. So I'm still in the process of integrating. So I'm still coming out of that week that I needed to rest more. Let me know in the chat box if you have any um, other ways that you integrate. What's your preferred way to integrate? Or what is the sign or what are the signs that you can tell when you need to integrate? A little prompt for this theme is what are the ways that help me integrate? And how can I be more aware of when I need it? The next theme is related to Christ consciousness, and this is maybe a series every month that we'll kind of look into because Christ consciousness, fully embodying Christ consciousness, understanding what it means for you personally, it's a theme for the year and the years to come. And if you haven't watched the energy themes for the year for 2025, you can just go back a few posts inside the community. I shared this on the solstice last December. It's also on my YouTube channel as well, a few videos prior to this if you're watching this on YouTube. And last month we were talking a lot about sacred neutrality. And when I tuned into the energy themes for this month, for like 2 or 3 days in a row, I just kept getting this message that there's no need for forgiveness. There's no need for forgiveness. And I'm thinking, is this for me? Like, I'm not necessarily personally resonating so much with it because I don't feel like there's a need for forgiveness, either for me to forgive anybody or to receive any kind of forgiveness. But then I was just like, this is a message for the collective. And yes, I'm part of the collective, so a lot of the messages are for me, but I just feel like we're learning these concepts that are not so easy for us to understand because of our conditioning and our programming for thousands and thousands of years. Even the sacred neutrality concept is still something that we're not used to. Sometimes we don't understand, and then we're feeling and we're learning and we're remembering. Maybe it should call remembering Christ consciousness. But this message was just coming through, and I just feel like I need to share. And so when we're fully embodying Christ consciousness, that's the feeling that we get, is just a feeling of pure, overwhelming, unconditional love. And I say overwhelming because there have been moments in my life that I felt it, and it's just like there's so much love that you just want to cry. It's like you're overflowing with love, and you just can't put words into it. But when you're in that state of this connection with Christ consciousness, there's nothing to forgive. There's no regret. There's just no issues. There's no anger. There's no nothing. It's just this state of pure unconditional love. I can't put it into words, but at least I'm trying. I hope it's resonating and it's making sense. So this is a message for the collective, and also maybe just something for us to continue to reflect on, what Christ consciousness means. And I think this is an important piece to it. And then the images that I was getting was the path. It was like a clear path. Clear the path, clear path. And I think that's related to forgiveness, because I think when you just let go of that, the path becomes clear and lighter as well, so that you can just keep going, right? Because sometimes we're holding on to things, grudges, or things from the past that are just weighing us down and preventing us from taking the step forward. So a prompt that I offer for this theme is to reflect, where in my life am I still looking for forgiveness? Maybe looking to give or looking to receive. And if it helps, and this is something that really helps me, is just to create a ritual, like an energetic ritual, a ritual of energetic closure within you for anything, any relationship, any trauma, anything that you feel like you need some closure. You can create that ritual for yourself. You can find that closure for yourself. Okay, and if it resonates with you, you can set that intention for today's session too. The next theme is Lightworkers stepping fully into their purpose and rising together as well, because that's very much related to the age of Aquarius that we're in. But I see more and more, and even with my one-on-one clients as well, that they're just like ready, and like the calling keeps ringing. It's just getting louder and louder. So we'll see more and more of you, light workers, star seeds, just really stepping fully into your purpose of being of service. And it doesn't have to be in the spiritual field, in the multidimensional field, in the energetics, in the healing arts. It can be in the work that you're already doing. You can be a teacher teaching maths, and that's your light worker. If that's your intention, and if you have the awareness, right? People don't have to know. Only you have to know, right? And so I think we will see more and more of you really stepping into your purpose and just know that you are needed. This is a very important time for Earth, for humanity. You are needed and you are not alone. Because if you have that purpose, if you have that intention, other people do too. And when you start connecting with other people that are like-minded, like-hearted, like-spirited, they have the same vision, they have similar visions, that makes that just make you more empowered. That just gives you more courage and more strength and confidence to continue to go on. So know that you're needed and you're not alone. So a prompt that I offer for you for this theme is that baby steps are necessary, and sometimes, not sometimes, always they're better than no steps, right? Sometimes we get very stagnant because we are afraid of XYZ, we're afraid of being seen. I think that's like one of the most predominant things that light workers might feel, and that's due to past life trauma, this life trauma as well. So just know that a baby step is a big step, and reach for support in your community. Break the cycle. You are here to make a difference and shine your light. Okay. I'm here to help you if you ever need. We're here as a community as well. Feel free to connect with each other and just really find, the people that can support you, that can encourage you to continue to do your light work. Okay. One thing that I will offer as well, one question that I'll offer is to question also what is the core of your purpose? And the core of your purpose ultimately is just to be here as a being of light, anchoring light. That's something Palladians always say. You're here to anchor light, to embody Christ consciousness. Your presence here is enough alone. You are enough. Your being is enough. But yes, when you're doing the things that you want to do, what is your core purpose? And your core purpose could be to serve humanity, but within your field too, like you can ask, what is the core thing, regardless of what I do and how I express that, what is my core purpose? And then how you do it, how you express that can change over the years, can change within months. But then if you're clear on what your core purpose is, then it just becomes lighter, it becomes easier even to surrender into the shifts and changes. Okay. And a simple intention that you can take as well is just to ask your higher self, ask your guides, what is my right next step? And whatever it is that you're creating, whatever vision you have, just you don't have to see all the staircase. I know that's cliche, but that's very true. You don't have to see all the staircase. You only need to know what your next step is. And baby steps, they can take you a long way. Next theme is experimenting with new and innovative methods and ways. And I know that sounds a little general and broad, but that's related to the Aquarius season because, the Aquarius, and this is also the age of Aquarius that we're in, which is related to community, related to creating new ways of being, new ways of doing. But the Aquarius, they're very they don't like to follow the trends. They want to do the opposite of the trends, right? They want to create, maybe not create the trend, but they want to go in the other way, and they want to try to find ways of doing things in a different way, because maybe the ways that we've been using and doing things are just not working, right? And this is just part of us co-creating the 5D new Earth. we're going to have to create ways of doing things differently and more consciously as well. And so you can maybe make a list of things that you can change and try new ways of doing, and that can go from things in your house, in your work, in your relationships. And I know, again, that sounds a little bit too broad, but however this is resonating with you, there is something that you've been doing that you can do it in a different way. And that could be related to anything in your life. That could be related to your habits. That could be related to your daily habits or your routine. That could be related to how you consume things. That could be related to relationships. Okay, so this is one that I encourage you to reflect on. Maybe go back to when you get the PDF and maybe write a few things around it. The next theme is the Starseeds deepening their commitment to self-love, embracing their humanness. This is a very big theme as well. And I guess for a lot of us, because if you even if you don't necessarily consider yourself a starseed, if you're here, you probably are. But sometimes it can be very challenging to be in the body, to be in the density that we're in, especially for like the newer waves of star seeds, depending on your generation, it can be very, very difficult just to be in a body, just to experience this density. And we are going to receive, we're going to have more and more star seeds incarnating on Earth. This next decade, millions of star seeds, Pleiadian star seeds, will incarnate on Earth. That's a message that I got from the Pleiadians. And they are they're coming with a different software and different system, and we're going to learn a lot from them. And their main purpose is to be here and anchor light and raise the frequency of the planet, which is our job too, which is our purpose here. We are the ones that are here already going through this experience. So it's really important for us to love ourselves and to embrace our human selves and to embrace our humanness. And I know every now and then you might have a feeling of like, I don't want to be here. This is too much. But if this is just every now and then, that's okay. The problem is this, if it's every day, then you really need to make a commitment to enjoy more of your human experience and remember that your purpose is to be here, like I said, just to be here, to anchor light and love on the planet. And just your being here is enough. Just you going through this human experience and being incarnate here is enough. But it's going to be more challenging and more difficult if you continue to resist the experience, if you continue to resist your humanness. So it is really time for us to just love ourselves and love our human experience. And so this is also one that I invite you to reflect on, maybe do a little bit of journaling and ask yourself, in what ways have I neglected my humanness? And in what ways, equally, in what ways can I honor it? Can I celebrate? Can I enjoy being human? And we can have like gratitude is such a great practice for this as well. And just noticing the little things, the birds singing or the taste of your favorite ice cream. Whatever you can do to shift your focus and to remind yourself that you're here and that you can honor your body, you can honor this experience. And again, if it helps, you can make a list of those things and then look back at it when you need the most. Okay. And this is also related to just a save the date moment to this workshop slash activation that I'm hosting on the 15th of February, Saturday, so not this Saturday, the next Saturday. And that's called the Starseed Relationship Activation. It's focused more on romantic relationship because it's Valentine's Day in the US on the 14th. And we're just taking this month to understand more about ourselves as starseeds and why sometimes starseeds kind of, I don't want to say struggle, but that's the word that's coming up. We struggle with relationships, romantic relationships, because we are in a different space, in a different frequency, moving, evolving sometimes very quickly, and we see the world in a very different way for most people. So we're going to look into that, love ourselves, do a lot of journaling, reflecting, but also a lot of like activation to be open to call in your aligned partner. Okay, we're gonna call aligned partner. We're not gonna call soulmate or twin flame because that's very debatable. We have different definitions of this. This is happening on on Saturday, 15th of February. Save the date. Okay, great. This is all for the energy themes. We actually have a lot of information. I always think that there's not going to be much, and then the downloads keep coming. And let me know in the chat box which one or which ones you've resonated most with.